Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'll be trying out some F124. This is the latest edition in the franchise since it's been acquired by EA. They have made some good changes with the authenticity, at least. It's still pretty much made by Codemasters. I'm going to go through the graphics settings. Playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160 at 144 Hz. Anisotropic filtering is at 16 times. I'm using DLAA and frame generation. Finally, frame generation actually works. The last version in 2023 edition, it didn't work, at least in the Origin version. It might have worked for the Steam version. And I've got the game pretty much completely maxed out. This game has pretty much all the ray tracing options you can ask for. Ray trace shadows, reflections, ambient occlusions, reflections, diffuse global illumination. It has it all. So if you're going to enable ray tracing, you better have good performance, or at least use some upscaling to help out. The only thing I have off is variable rate shading and chromatic aberration. So what I'm going to do is just get into a, let's say Grand Prix, maybe 5 laps or so, and see how I get on. I want to try out the new Spa. So we're going to be using the F124 cars, and we're going to go straight to Belgium. Okay, but I am a Lewis Hamilton fan and a Mercedes fan, so I will be using the Mercedes, which isn't the best car in the world, but I still think it's a decent drive. And in terms of weather, I want it just to be a clear day. Don't want to deal with any rain right now. I remember this game in audio settings, they've actually got a setting for audio usually if they want it high quality or not. Looks like they've changed that now. Yeah, that's it. It's still, you can put the audio simulation to ultra high, which is not usual when it comes to games. Audio is usually just what it is. Anyway, in terms of the weekend structure, what are we doing? Just a standard, no practice, no qualifying. Very short is 5 laps. That's exactly what I want to do. So I'm just going to go straight into it.
Nestled in the Ardennes forest waits an absolutely classic challenge, a throwback, and unashamedly so. The reputation of Spa-Francorchamps speaks for itself. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track... Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who's...
I know where I'm starting.
Since I last worked with you, good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Can't really see too many difference graphically, but they have made a massive change to the actual driver avatars, so the real drivers look a lot like themselves, but other than that, the graphics pretty much look the same, if I'm honest.
Okay, pull the clutch in, hold it there until the start.
Let's see how I do.
In the throttle, let's build the revs. Okay, clutch out, go, go, go.
Try not to crash on the first lap. That's when the most action happens. Don't want to get any early penalties. So just for your information, I am playing with a PS5 DualShock Dual Sense control pad, and the game does have haptic feedback features that are actually pretty interesting. Like when you're losing a bit of traction, the acceleration trigger or R2 will do something pretty interesting, as well as the brake L2 while you're almost locking up. Not sure if that's Fernando or not. Yeah, it is Alonso. See if I can get past him. Just going to try and get past Charles Leclerc nice and early. Like on the hunt down the Red Bulls, which are no doubt up ahead. So this year they have brought in all of the aesthetic changes to Spa-Francorchamps as well. So we get to see all of these changes. Stroll really doing a good job in fourth. That's unusual to see him so high up, but the Aston Martin's actually a pretty decent car now. It's a bit too ambitious. I'm going to bide my time to get past Charles Leclerc, and then I can take down Stroll in my own time. But I have to say, in terms of handling, this feels a lot more friendly for people with pads. This feels really nice on the PS5 pad. Usually you have to make a few adjustments. I'm going to try go down the inside of Charles Leclerc. Just about did that, didn't really exceed track limits there. Going to use
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
That's a nice touch as well. DRS is enabled after 1 lap now, which is what's in the real regulations. It used to be after the first 3 laps. So that's nice to see. Yeah, so I'll get back to the handling, as well as it feeling a lot better with the control pad. The cars actually feel a lot lighter in terms of the weight when you go around the corners. So, and the curbs as well seem to be a lot more forgiving. You can ride the curb and not feel too much vibrations going through the front suspension. So too much of impact on the front wing. Doesn't seem to be any damage, but that was my fault. But this is my first race, so cut me a bit of slack. I'll try and drive as clean as I can though. Up the inside of Carlos Sainz.
Nice move, good job.
Now I can chase down Perez and Max Verstappen. Should be able to dispatch a Perez pretty easy. I'm gonna go up the inside. Just gonna pick my time. Tidy enough. So there's a bit of glare on the visor now. When you go over the dirt, you do get a little bit of kickback on the visor, which is a new touch. I've also noticed that you get a little bit of dirt on the inside of your wheels. So that's a new touch. I don't remember seeing that before. So they have made some graphical changes. But someone would need to really do a side-by-side comparison for me to really notice them all. Perez is really digging his heels in here. Gonna outbrake him. Chase down Verstappen now. Okay, I'm gonna try and get into his slipstream. Hunt him down. Can do Eau Rouge with no lift, no problem. Bam. Perez just used DRS and absolutely smoked me. Got no more power. I do need to harvest some energy. Okay, I have to be smart about this. I don't want to break anything. Should be able to take him on the outside. AI is not that fast around here. Just about kept it out the gravel. See that little bit of snap of oversteer there. But I'm gaining on him. Just gonna coast around this corner, get on the throttle early, a little bit too early, almost lost the back end there. Should be able to do this flat. Okay, almost close enough to Max Verstappen's slipstream. And this here as well, the actual weight of the car feels different when you're in the dirty air of the car in front of you. So if you feel the handling change when you're up close to another car, that's the reason. Okay, should be able to take him on this lap. I'll bide my time here, I want to do it right. Oh, kiss the inside. Hopefully I didn't get any damage there. Had to lift a little bit, didn't go into that corner that great, but I'm within the DRS zone, so should be able to gain on Max Verstappen just a little bit before we enter the braking zone. But performance feels silky smooth. In terms of the input lag due to frame generation, it's non-existent. I can't tell that it's even in use. It just feels so smooth. Try to go up the inside, nice and tidy. See if I can stay ahead of Max now, which isn't going to be easy. If I can make a little bit of lead, but I don't need to drive within myself. Just about had to lift a little bit there. Fastest in sector 2 out of anyone in the race so far, so that's pretty good. I've driven pretty well. I would say the Mercedes sounds a little bit too close to the Red Bull for my liking. It doesn't sound quite exactly how I thought it would, but to be honest, I haven't heard too much on board from the Mercedes this year.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
And the
Final lap. Push.
And the fastest in sector 2 and 3. Let's see if I can finish off by doing all sectors and get the fastest lap of the race. The handling does feel a lot better now though, I would say. At least with a control pad. I'm not too sure you guys with a wheel. I do have a wheel, but I'm too much of a casual to break it out. Yeah, I'm making myself a nice little lead now. Can afford to make a small mistake and keep my position. Oh, almost lost it there. Yeah, the car's a lot more grippy now than I remember. Last year's model would have punished me there. I heard that the customization on this is a lot more in depth as well. You can, in terms of suspension, ride height, and even the deployment of the ERS, you can really use that to a strategy almost, because you can deploy it and harvest different by lifting and coasting. So they have thought about a few things to make individual decisions count for more. Anyway, checker flag got the win. Happy with that.
Woo! Great job, guys. That's an incredible result for the team. Just shows all the hard work we're doing. Let's keep pushing.
And they've obviously got the authentic recordings from drivers as well after crossing the start-finishing line. So that was Lewis Hamilton, placed for the first time in the game.
And extending his already record-breaking winning record, it's Lewis Hamilton to the line for victory.
That's the only time you're going to see Hamilton winning a race,
like
unfortunately.
This and think, if I just made that mistake there or locked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they're able to do today. Great stuff indeed.
Okay, trophy celebrations. This game absolutely hammers your GPU.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Faces have come a long way. I guess they all got face scanned probably.